Daily Manna from the Torah by Dr. Ketriel Blad. Shalom to all and welcome to this third aliyah of Parashat Chukat, the statute of. This aliyah is found in the book of Numbers, chapter 20, from verses 7 through 13. Today we'll be covering chapter 20, verses 10 through 12. And Moshe and Aaron gathered the assembly together before the rock, and he said to them, "Hear now, you rebels, we must bring water for you out of this rock." Then Moses lifted his hand and struck the rock twice with his rod, and water came out abundantly, and the congregation and their animals drank. Then the Lord spoke to Moshe and Aaron, "Because you did not believe me, to hallow me in the eyes of the children of Israel, therefore you shall not bring this assembly into the land which I have given them." What was Moshe's sin? Moshe and Aaron couldn't bring the people to the promised land for the sin they committed in this occasion. There are many different rabbinical explanations about what kind of sin was committed. The truth is that the Eternal told Moshe to talk to the rock, to speak to it, but instead of talking to it, he struck it. That's the essence of sin, not doing what the Eternal has said. Besides, Moshe called the people rebels and asked them if they could bring water out themselves. By his words, we can deduce that he acted in anger and spoke as if he could make miracles, when he should have honored the Eternal with that ability. Well, the miracles of these two spiritual giants were summed up with the words, "You didn't believe me to sanctify me before the sons of Israel." The sanctification of the Eternal, in Hebrew, Kiddush Hashem, has great priority for the Eternal. The way of treating him is of great importance, and especially when being an example for the entire people, as Moshe was. We cannot treat the Eternal just any way we want and think there will be no consequences. And the higher the spiritual position one has, the more important it is to treat the Eternal correctly, so that the people have a good example to follow. In what way did Moshe and Aaron not sanctify the Eternal? The Torah reads that they didn't believe him. In Hebrew, lo ha'emantem. The root of the verb to believe, aman, has to do with the building of a support, something firm and stable. Therefore, to believe in the Eternal not only implies to believe in what he says, but to be faithful and adjust all of one's life, thoughts, attitudes, and behavior according to what the Eternal dictates. To believe in Hashem is to trust him. To believe in the Eternal is to be faithful. Moshe and Aaron were not faithful in that moment because he said they must talk to the rock, but they didn't. They struck it. To be faithful is to do exactly what the Eternal has said, not more, not less. By not being faithful, they didn't sanctify his name. By not doing what he said, they set a terrible example before the people of how one must behave before the Eternal. Some may think that it's not that important if they talk to the rock or hit it. The important thing is that the miracle was done and that the people were saved. But in the kingdom of heaven, things don't work halfway like that. What the Eternal says is exactly what he means. That's why one should obey him, not more nor less, nor any other way or similar or halfway, but exactly as he has said. Any other thing is not sanctifying and not being faithful to him. Let's learn from this lesson to study well what the Eternal has really said, so we can do exactly what he says and nothing else. Blessings and shalom.